Welcome back to BWO Daily, your source for news in sports entertainment and the world of professional wrestling from you boys at Busted Wide Open. My name is Nick Howell.
And I am Sir Ian Dangerous. And today, Nick, we had to talk about a little spat that went on Twitter over the last couple of days. Apparently, Dax from FTR, formerly The Revival, tweeted out a little happy birthday to Shawn Michaels, whose birthday, as you know, is on the 22nd. He said, "It's Shawn Michaels' birthday. Here's a picture of the greatest wrestler to ever lace up a pair of wrestling boots." And he posted a picture of Bret Hart, which little jab there. Cute. But then Miro, formerly known as Rusev, tweeted back at him, "You're not even going to tag the man? You're not going to tag Shawn Michaels? You're not going to tag Bret Hart in this? No, you're just going to try to sneak this under the radar, as it were." But before anybody could respond, who should pipe up out of the woodwork but Brian G. James, a.k.a. Road Dogg, who piped up, "No guts. Be well, Miro. God bless you, dude." So Road Dogg saying that Dax had no guts for not adding Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart. Well, Cash Wheeler from FTR didn't take kindly to that. He tweeted back, "Yeah, man, we're the ones with no guts. Definitely not you. Be well." Brian G. James tweeted back, "Definitely not." And Cash finally decided to shoot his shot, and he said, "Definitely a good guy that never talks shit about talent as soon as they'd walk away, and definitely wouldn't try to bury anyone that disagreed with him. Definitely." So this leads me to believe there may be a little bit of heat between FTR and Road Dogg. And I don't see this being a work. Why would they pull this as a work? Why would this be a work in any way? This seems like there might be some legitimate gripe there. What are you seeing? What are you seeing here, Nick? Are you seeing a gripe or?
None of them are with WWE anymore, right? All
Why
of
would
those
they need to pull
parties
punches?
involved?
Yeah. As we know from the Hall of Fame where Bret Hart was getting inducted, Cash does not pull punches.
No.
Especially if you try to attack Bret Hart on the podium.
Right.
So, yeah, this definitely it's raised my eyebrows. Wow, there's some heat between FTR and Road Dogg. I wonder what's up with this. I can't say that I'm terribly surprised Road Dogg doesn't have the most sterling reputation.
No.
I mean, I'm kind of sitting here going, wait, the guy who once thought having braids, rapping poorly, and wearing blackface was okay isn't a good guy. The guy who got fired for being a junkie went on a drug-fueled shoot interview rampage burying Vince and Triple H and then found God to come back, meekly back and lick their boots isn't going to be trusted. I'm sorry, the guy who went on this Twitter tirade, whatever it was, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when the audience didn't get his Becky Lynch storyline because he made Becky the heel against Charlotte when the entire crowd, all of us, we all knew Becky was obviously the face in this, but he doesn't treat talent well. Nick, I'm shocked. I'm shocked by this.
Terribly
shocked and appalled. My goodness. You don't say. I'm surprised people don't like Road Dogg at this point. It's shocking to me.
It is, what's the phrase that we always use? It's hard finding out more about people that you liked or looked up to at one point. Like, listen, I was a huge DX mark. I was a huge New Age Outlaws mark in the late 90s. I loved it. But I was a stupid teenager that didn't know nothing and realized the error in my ways over the course of the last 20 years. Listen, I still know every word to the New Age Outlaws entrance, and I could get up and recite it now, and maybe we do that for a bonus thing for the patrons sometime, because that could be a fun waste of time. But this is not. What does Nick always say?
I don't know. What do you always say?
Stop doing this on Twitter. You're professionals.
I'm with you. I used to have Road Dogg's entrance whole shtick on my answering machine. That was my answering machine. Your ass better call somebody. Oh, you did. You called me. That was my whole thing. It was to say, everyone used to say Enzo's whole entrance thing too, and now where's Enzo? You know, time is a cruel mistress, and whatever you do, don't try to just stay. Road Dogg on Twitter and Facebook is an ugly thing. So, I have unfortunately looked a little bit too much into that, and here we are. But yeah, why is this being done on Twitter? Obviously, this seems like it was a lot of kind of passive-aggressive stuff, so it seems like, it is like You can't help it. It's the middle of the night. Someone says something, and you tweet it, and you go, crap.
Here's the other thing. This is one of those side effects of social media and pulling back the curtain and letting us see backstage into wrestling promotions like WWE. Does it take some of the shiny veneer off of it, or is it an access thing that we all really truly appreciate, or are we all out there on Twitter and on our podcasts and our YouTube channels taking pot shots at them? Now that all of this is visible and exposed, and that all of the superstars and people involved are doing it out in the public on Twitter.
Well, this is the thing. We have our regular show, Nick, to talk about what happens inside the ring, and then this show is for a lot of what happens outside the ring. We're not, our next story actually is about Mike Tyson and Chris Jericho, which has something to do with being inside the ring. What's happening inside the ring with them looks like it's not going to happen. Tyson and Jericho isn't going to happen because of what's happening outside the ring, which is Tyson has apparently got an upcoming exhibition match with Roy Jones Jr. on September 12th at the Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. So, unfortunately, because All Out is on September 5th, it looks like that program's not going to happen right now. Could it happen in the future at some point? Sure, but it's not going to happen for All Out. In fact, Mike Tyson's actually formed a group called the Legends Only League, so where you see a lot of like older boxers fight. They're going to have oversized gloves, no headgear, and not really try to beat the crap out of each other, but just so you can see some of these older guys in the ring getting in there and doing some work. And if you've seen Holyfield and Tyson, they look fantastic. So that's something that's kind of cool. But it means that the Jericho and Tyson match, at least in the immediate future, is probably off. So that's, there's a story that is partly about what's going on inside the ring, but also partly about what's outside. What's outside the ring is relevant to what's happening inside the ring. So when you hear about something like this going on Twitter, where Cash and Road Dogg go at it, it gives you insight into the workings of how things, operate behind the scenes in some of these facilities and some of these companies, and it lets you know more how you're getting what you're seeing in the ring. If you look at the people who cover the movie industry, reviewing the movies is one small niche. Talking about what's going on backstage, TMZ is almost bigger in some ways than some TV shows and movies. That's all just behind the scenes stuff. So should we be talking about stuff behind the scenes? Yeah. I would say so. Every other industry
I feel like my innocence is stripped away, though, is what is the point I'm trying to make when they do decide to air all of this dirty laundry. Like, oh, you remember Attitude Era? You remember DX and all of the...
But the more you learn about how the hot dogs are made, the less you want to eat hot dogs, the more you want to eat like something that's made with real beef. The more you learn about how a movie's made, the more, yes, you cannot watch it quite as innocently anymore. You get enraptured by what you're seeing. You're sitting there thinking about camera lenses and focus depths and, did the grip come to set that day? You're not thinking about the movie quite as much, but it also gives you deeper appreciation for what they've accomplished when you watch it. Yeah. So I feel like I have a more deep appreciation for what people can accomplish in wrestling because I know more about it. So it's interesting. We've actually kind of gotten off on a bit of a tangent here about modern wrestling fans. But suffice it to say that it is interesting to see that there may have been some heat between FTR and Road Dogg. Just given, what we've seen of Road Dogg's personality on social media, what we've seen of FTR's personalities on social media, their varying beliefs in what wrestling should be. It's interesting to just kind of step back and see them doing this and, eat some popcorn and be like, huh, what do you know?
And I don't want to gloss over the fact that you brought up Tyson fighting Roy Jones Jr. again. If you guys haven't seen those hype videos of Mike Tyson working out recently, the dude's in his 50s, and he's still got that lightning fast uppercut that made him what he was in the 80s and 90s. So good Lord, Roy Jones Jr., I rest in peace.
Roy's technical,
you're about to get
he's
knocked
wily.
The F out.
He's wily. He's wily. I don't know. Does Tyson have the anger he used to have? That's the question.
Yes.
We will find out. Before we get out of here, Nick, some quick happy birthdays. Happy birthday, Torrie Wilson, turning 45 and still looking amazing.
Oh, my heart.
Angelo Dawkins, congratulations, my man. Recently had a young child be born. 30 years old today, Angelo Dawkins. TUCKIE, turning 30 today. MJ Jenkins, now doing some good work over in AEW, turning 28. A lot of people with birthdays today. And finally, the technical assassin, Zack Sabre Jr., turning 33 years old today. Current tag team champion over in Japan with Taichi.
Oh, come on. You know you love
I
it.
hate Taichi. Zack Sabre Jr., current IWGP tag team heavyweight tag team champion, turning 33. Happy birthday to everybody. And that is the news.
Well, thank you, Surrey and Dangerous. Happy birthday to all of you, and thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of BWO Daily. Make sure you pound that big red subscribe button and set your notifications to all so you get notified anytime we put up a new episode of BWO Daily or go live. Heads up again, we're going to do this all throughout the next week. We're moving to Twitch, so make sure you go over to twitch.tv/bustedwideopen and make sure you follow us over there. We will be moving our Tuesday and Saturday live shows over to Twitch, but stay right here on YouTube for BWO Daily and much more content coming in the very near future. My name is Nick Howell. You can find me on Twitter at DataCenterDude.
And I am Sir Ian Dangerous. You can find me on Twitter at Sir Ian Dangerous.
And we will see you guys next time.